All right. Well,
I feel like we
we're
need to
live.
be positive.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live, guys. Well, welcome to the Jankyard. It's been a minute. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. I mean, it's not those now, but who knows when any of our people actually listen to us. So, yeah, and we're definitely probably not doing any more before end of
Happy
year.
4th of July.
Happy, yeah, could be
Yeah.
anything.
I don't know.
You could be
Happy
catching
birthday.
us next year because you're new and you're trying to catch up on our whole catalog of episodes.
And you made a terrible mistake about which episode to listen to first. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Don't start here. Uh, as always, I am your host, The Treatment, and we've got with us the man of the Mickey Mouse house, Mr. Killer Cactus.
Hey, what's going on?
And,
Come inside. It's fun inside.
yeah, we lost him.
There's no accounting for taste.
We lost him for a while, but now he's been found. The one and only Mr. Grey Poupon.
What's up? That's me, Schmendrick the Magician. I don't know that I'm really back, but I want to be back. I aspire to be back. You know, fun new cards are coming out. I miss everybody.
You're watching binoculars from afar, just like, maybe now.
Yeah.
They won't notice if I sneak in.
Yeah, exactly. That's me.
All right.
I've been very
What's going
excited
on?
to play lately.
Nothing has happened. You've missed nothing. It'll be exactly like it was before you left.
You're just getting dunked on by Reverberate constantly, because that's my last memory.
Yeah, pretty
of the
much.
game is forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing Leo, so nothing has changed. And we still have only one listener. Fred is in chat. That's about it. He likes my shirt.
What's up, Fred? I can't see you.
Yeah, you just have to
Why
watch
is-
the stream at the same time. I can't
Okay.
do the double camera anymore. It doesn't work.
Oh, you have a tie-dyed shirt. Yeah, that was a good shirt. I
Yeah.
like that shirt.
Yeah. Very, very fancy. Tie-dye is the way to go.
So I think we had a loose idea for this stream, which was just treatment could catch us up, and in so doing, I know there'd been some chat in the Discord about just generally having some more frequent podcasts to catch community members up, and I'm a community member who needs to be caught up. So
Which, I
I
mean,
don't think Killer knows what's going on.
great idea. Dijon came up with that idea. I like it. I think the big mistake you guys made was thinking that I know what's going on.
You constantly commentate on games. Are you just like ignoring everything else that's happening except the collections games?
I just do things. There's no thought process to it. It's not like I retain. I live in the moment and then it's gone.
I just do things.
Yeah.
So you're the Big Lebowski of Ashes, basically.
I
You just
really
like
look like a guy with a plan.
I'm very much like my children, just running around making noise, and then it's like, oh, okay. Focus for about 2 seconds and off to the next topic. Yeah, we can catch up.
Are you sure you're not an American?
That's too much chaos. Okay, so what is new? Well, obviously we have most people, not everyone, starting to get or finally getting their Ascendancy, and it seems to be a lot of people also got the all-in package of the Kickstarter, which I've seen a lot of people join the community, which is very exciting. It seems to be that almost all of those people will be PvE players, so not as exciting for me, but I hope that they stick around. And Killer just did some Ascendancy yesterday, so you guys should check that out. But that's the biggest thing right now. There's a collection the collection of 2025 going on. We're in round 4. I want to be ambitious and say half of the game so far. I've got a lot to catch up on this coming week, next week ish. I'm still in it, which is a surprise to everyone, including myself.
I'm not surprised. You're a really good player.
I'm not surprised either, man.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm the only person playing Mill in a tournament where everyone's playing Ping. it's
Well, see, that's the least surprising thing of
aggro.
all. That you decided to go.
Yeah.
You decided to zag while everyone else zigged.
And the games have been very good. At least the ones I've caught. Very, very exciting stuff. So hopefully it maintains that level of hype all the way through. This is the first year where instead of it just being like boring pods and everyone's like, oh, I lost 2 games, so I'm just, or like I lost 1 game, so I'm not going to make top cut, I just give up. This is upper bracket and lower bracket, so you get a chance all the way until you fail twice, which is really cool. um Carl, well, Shmeny, you've certainly missed it, I think, but Carl, for the 3 months prior to this, was running a format called Ashes 500, which
No,
has.
I didn't miss that.
Oh
I
no.
participated. I played some Ashes 500 games,
Okay,
and I did.
well, that was the most hype, I think,
Yeah,
people have been
I think
for
I
a
did a
while.
tournament. Was there an event? I did. I did one of the first Ashes 500 events.
Okay, yeah, there was an event mixed in there, and I mean even Charlotte came back,
I
which
know.
was
It was
super
pretty
cool.
cool.
Charlotte was watching the stream yesterday. She was one of our four listeners.
Yeah, well, and
Oh,
Charlotte is she's been awesome. She's taking the lead since we're all too lazy and disorganized on preparing for the new version, I guess, of Jankfest, which is going to be Jankuary. And I don't know if she's released the details yet. We're still working out various things, but yeah, it's good to have her back in the community in some capacity, and it'll also be kind of like a palate cleanser, a little more chill after the collection, after everyone's gotten fat off of Christmas puddings and pies and everything else. You can sit back and just play calm Ashes, not have to really put any brain power into it. Let all that energy go to digesting and relaxing. What else is going on? Nothing. Oh well, end of our Gaia cards. I guess you weren't here for that.
Yeah,
We
I mean we've
talked
got
about
time
how
cards. We've got 2 new whole magic types coming out. Seems
Car-
like a lot.
Carl is still saying
yeah,
that
really.
realization is good, but no one has. I haven't even seen it be played
He
once.
says realization is good.
He says
I've heard him
realization
say
is
it was
good.
fun.
Well,
I've seen him say it was fun. I haven't seen good. Those
I
are
have
two different
not
things.
seen a single player use it. I think it's junk, but you know, time will tell.
And not even the kind of fun junk that I'd want to play in Jankuary, you know? I don't think
Yeah.
I'd want to do that.
I just keep thinking that like Nick named it realization because there's some crazy thing that we're all gonna figure out and like realize at some point. It's gonna take us forever to realize it, and that's like the whole point of the card. It's gonna be the most meta thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, it could be,
Is that
or
everybody
somehow
realizes that it's real. Everyone has a realization that it's good.
something is gonna make only it work. I don't know, but yeah. So we're still exploring that, um, and yeah. So there's there's a lot of people who are new to Ashes who are confused. I guess there's some like common confusion that we could clear up. Not that any new player would be
I'm
listening to
confused.
this. So
Commonly.
first one, common confusion, is that all these people who bought the all-in Kickstarter are asking, why are there 2 dividers for Red Rain's Time and there's no cards? Am I missing product? No, you're not. Red Rain's Time, aka End of Our Gaia, was not finished in time for the Kickstarter, so it is not
Oh,
included. It is
interesting.
a separate product that you will still get from Team Covenant if you are subscribed or you are on the subscription. It is the last product of the subscription, which means it's the last 3 month exclusive period, at least for those of you in the
Good, but I've
US.
already gotten those cards. So if you were in the all in and then you signed up for the subscription, you still get it?
The End of Our Guide did not
But they
come
sent it
with,
already.
well, not there's a lot of people still not, I don't think, have gotten it. The delivery even across the US seems to be staggered, and some people are like, "Oh, I got it
The
today,"
end of
when
our
some
Gaia?
people, yeah, yeah. So it didn't come with the Kickstarter, the Ascendancy Kickstarter. Like even if you got the all in, it's separate from Team Covenant.
Hmm.
And as far as like some of our international players, like True Lulzar, and even myself in Canada, can't find it yet. It's still on pre-order, so it's not available everywhere yet. So that is a point of confusion for some people, and then as far as like Ascendancy, people are already asking about the next set, even though we barely have the cards of the current set. The next
I
set,
like these new players.
yeah,
They're spicy.
we know
They're
it's
my
going
kind
to
of people.
be nature. We know that the format is going to be 2 player decks and 1 Dragonborn. And it will be sort of like the time cycle set, effectively, where each new expansion is the new Artifice and Astral decks with one of the existing 7 magic types. And we don't know much more about how the Dragonborn is going to evoke those things. And then anyone who plays online, Ashes Live now has the cards. They are work in progress on, like the Dijon was working on them for Ash Techie, and I think that's about it. I think there's a lot of people asking the same questions over and over again, but those basically come down to it. The big box seems to be a big hit. I did not get it, but it's a big hit for
The
people.
big storage box?
The huge box. Yeah.
I got it.
I actually took
I need to fill it.
So, yeah, when we did that stream yesterday, Kyle and I did it before Lorcana Locals on Saturday, and I brought the whole big box to the game store and just like slapped it on the table.
People
He's
impressed?
like, I brought the whole thing, and I was like, yeah, people want to see this thing. And we had a few people come up and ask about it. At least the guys that worked at the store were checking out the box, like not the game, but the box. Like, were very impressed by the quality of the big storage box.
Yeah.
So
It seems like most people got it delivered well. So if you had any issue with it, I think, contact Plaid Hat. Some people got some dents and nicks. One person got like their plastic storage tray broken. But for the most part, complaints seem minimal. Other than, I guess, there's still debate as to whether the astral color was correct in being a slightly lighter pink than Illusion, but that's a debate for a different day.
He says I sound really soft. I can try and turn my volume up.
Yeah, well, especially if it's just you, I can turn you guys both up, but I can't control individually. So it's one or the other.
I just jacked mine way up, so.
All right.
I think he meant you sound soft as in,
Weak.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
possible. I could be weak. I mean, I'm very tired. I'll throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do jujitsu and stuff. You could probably kick my ass, that's for sure. That's not saying much, unfortunately, for you.
Taekwondo is very flashy.
Oh yeah, Taekwondo. Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, still, sometimes I feel like a badass.
I've got some other plans that not for this stream, but there's I think there's a couple ideas I had, and you guys are welcome to join or brainstorm at a future date. But someone was asking like, oh, we need more, I don't know, introductory material, whether that's audio like podcast or video thing, for especially now that there's so many new players. So the meta, not the meta, but like the archetypes is something that always comes up. Like, what are Ash's archetypes if you like a certain style of play? So that could be an easy, not an easy thing. No one agrees. That could be something to tackle. Even just where to start. The same questions keep coming up. Like, I got the all in. What should I play first? So that's a common question, and no one's seems to be willing to dig through old answers or the pins or the wiki. So easy answers to miss. And then like a review of the community. Like, hey, I'm new. Should I say anything? Where do I talk? It's like, yeah, you should join us.
Do you want to? I mean, it could be interesting just to do. I feel like even just spitballing, like, what are core principles from Ashes that we learned early on that we feel like, or maybe not so early on, in my case,
if any of us
like
learned
have value.
I would point everybody to that one episode we have, the 15 or top whatever, however many.
Yeah, I think that one actually was really good.
Episode, right?
Probably.
That's our best episode. That's where Frog Up was born. and it's has all that stuff we just like
What did
came
we
up with
say?
almost off the cuff.
What did we say? We said a lot of things. It's not our most listened to episode. I think the
It
two
should be
interviews
though.
with Nick were the most listened to, but it's
Well,
certainly
that
the
makes sense.
most useful episode. I think.
Yeah, I forget what we called it, but it was like get good or tips to get good or something like that, and we ran off all kinds of things and we started saying frog up.
We did. That
That's
was
what I
where
remember,
we were born.
but I feel like that's what I would tell. Like, I don't think we should rehash all that stuff because we did it. I think we did a very good job of it in that episode, and I would encourage people to go listen to that.
That's
I
fair.
think most of the stuff we said is probably still relevant, but and I would also, speaking of butts, I would point out the butt post on Discord. I think it's about. I mean, we feel like we just put it in the chat recently in Discord. At least Under Rug Swept posted his version, which is a more.
I think the butt post is okay, but it also requires you to have some sense of like what's going on in the game.
I thought you were
Like I
going to
think
say some sense of humor.
you need a sense of humor too. But I mean, I guess
but
it's
like,
probably yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that on here, but I guess that's the thing where we talk about like people say, oh, what should I play, and that the color identity of Ashes, I feel like is a good place to start with. What should I
Yeah,
play? Right, which is
yeah,
what
that's
that is
fair.
trying to do. Um, so I guess if there are new people listening to this, there's a post in the Discord pinned in a few different places. I think that we call the butt post that says, um, it talks about how each different color wants to kick your butt, and basically explains what each is. It attempts to explain very concisely what each color is good at.
Fred is staying. You're still quiet. And Dura is mocking us for being the old men reminiscing. So maybe we should jump to some actual useful or in something that somebody cares about. We can brainstorm at a later point. I'm gonna bring
But
up.
this
Maybe
is
I'm
useful.
Is it useful? We don't even know what we're talking about. What are the? Or tell me what the archetypes are. You
No,
tell
no, not
me.
archetypes. I
Oh,
wouldn't say archetypes. Here's what I'll say is like, I think if you're new to Ashes and you're diving into the PvE from the perspective of someone who drops back into the game, you know, pretty regularly, but takes long breaks, especially over the last year. Like, there's a handful of things that I feel like I learned over the course of playing the game intensively that um, still, like, knowing these things is still really valuable. And, like, I think you could learn pretty quickly and apply. In some sense, I think they're the kinds of things that you might want to focus on in doing PvE. So, for example, like, um, this is what gets into the archetypes. And I'll just offer this one, and we can see whether it's of use. But like, depending on where you're coming from, what kinds of backgrounds you have, like, I'm not sure everyone's going to appreciate immediately how important removal is in Ashes. Like, removal is extremely important in Ashes, and even if you want to play mill, like, I think the strongest mill decks are not about, say, like walling up, but about actually actively removing your opponent's units. And so you need a lot of removal, and that's the kind of thing that I think the PVE mode encourages you to do by putting blood points on the Chimera and Dragonborn units. But like, if you can figure out a good removal suite, that's a very translatable skill into um, PvP, and it's the kind of thing that again, when I come back to the game and I pick up a deck, like I very quickly understand, okay, what are my removal options, and based on the threats, and this is a subtler skill that you don't develop as quickly, based on the threats that someone else is likely to develop, like, do I need kind of big single target removal? Do I need more board sweepers? Things like that. But like, I feel like more than other card games I've played, what your removal options are in Ashes is extremely important to your first round strategy potentially, and just generally your game plan. So I don't know. I don't know if those things are useful. We probably covered them in the Get Good, but I'm just thinking about like what are kind of core principles that people who are new to the game might be trying to develop early on in their PvE experience in particular that Yeah.
No,
Is that
actually,
abuse?
that's I think that's useful, especially because there are going to be so many PVE players who are like, "Oh, I picked Brennan or Jessa, and I'm playing against, this Chimera,
Right.
and I don't know what to do because it's so hard." It's like, well, one, don't start there, probably, but two, these are the types of things you should focus on to get the foundation under you. No, I can agree on that.
Yeah, it is fundamentally more important in Ashes than it is, I think, in other popular games to control the board and have not just through spells that kill things, but through units that trade effectively into other units. And like Schmendrick said, both the Chimera encourages you to do that because that's how you beat it. Or it's a way to beat it, right? Because it takes damage every time you destroy one of their units, and that's a concept that's strange to people that are coming from, potentially other dueling card games. But I mean, particularly if people have a background in Magic the Gathering, which is always what I assume people have a background in because it's the biggest game that's out there, and it kind of is the birthing place for all these other, the million other dueling card games that have come after it. Is the thing in Ashes that is a lot different is that you can attack units. And you can't do that in Magic. You can just attack face and then they get to choose however they block. And the fact that you can attack units, and other games are doing it now too, but Ashes was kind of a pioneer. I mean, Ashes was around a long time before games like Star Wars Unlimited and Lorcana and stuff, to where you can attack units. But um, it really, most of the time, if you're gonna make a main action attack, attacking a unit is the correct thing to do. It's, I mean, there's certainly times where attacking Phoenixborn is right, but I think for people that come from Magic, it takes a little. I would think it would take a little bit of time to learn, that you want to attack into your opponent's guys.
Right. And if you come from Mickey Mouse background, the fact that you can attack units that are not exhausted and that are exhausted,
Right?
there's a difference.
Correct. There is a difference.
All right.
And the
Well,
ones that are exhausted don't deal damage back to you.
yeah. I think maybe that's something Shmeny should workshop as our resident PVE player, since I don't I don't think I've even unwrapped half of the PVE packs. But it's definitely more relevant to, I think, our player base now than it ever was. I don't know if you guys saw the stats that Dijon posted, but there were like
I did see that.
a couple hundred games PvP and an absolute ton of PvE games. It was wild.
Yeah, I
Um,
can look. I've got others that are immediately coming to mind, but we can save it. Maybe we can just record more regularly, and I can sort of drop things that along the way on
We
where I
need
think people can be like picking up skills, especially skills that may translate to higher level PvE play. Although I don't,
we need
I'm
to
not a like I'm not an aggressive min maxer in PvE. I generally play heroic too. I'm not trying to like make nasty combinations and then beat them with PvE tuned decks and heroic 3. But
Well, I think that, I mean, so two things. One, shorter content probably is useful. No one wants to listen to us for 2 hours, but you could do the YouTube Shorts. Here's a pro tip for PvE. But also, yeah, I think I don't remember
we
the
can
levels
clip
of
the last thing.
difficulty, but heroic 2 is
Yeah.
probably a sweet spot, because after that you sort of have to cheese a little bit. Some of, at least, no, I don't know all of the chimeras, but definitely some of them you need to cheese in order to just get enough damage, especially depending which mode you're playing. If you're playing just precon, like all the campaign mode, or not the campaign mode. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I would say heroic 2 you can generally win with good Ashes decks, and heroic 3 you need to win with something that's tuned for to take advantage of some of the PvE dynamics, I think. Whether you call that cheesing or just kind of playing to the format is up to you, but
Sure. Well, I mean, like, especially, it depends what your goal is. If your goal is just to play solo
Right.
forever and have fun, that's one thing. If your goal is to, like, hey, I'd like to get a little bit better and then play against someone, you do
Right.
tend to have to learn a different set of,
Right.
like, a different approach. Um, all right. So, in that case,
I hope you enjoyed our new segment.
that
I
was our new
say something
segment.
random about PB PvE. So for the new players, expect more of that.
We'll cut now. We'll restart the stream. No,
Yeah. Hey,
uh,
welcome to the Jankyard.
we we never got. So this is an odd thing, actually. We never got previews of Astral and Artifice. Like, there was no preview articles, so we never did an episode. We had the, like, the
Oh God.
alpha
Okay.
or beta previews where it was on stream and the
Covenant
cards. Yeah,
showed
Covenant had
them,
them, but they
right?
changed, right? And one
Right.
of our community members snipped all the screenshots, and so none of those are relevant anymore. So let's bring up the cards. We'll go through them. I don't even know what the cards are, and then you guys can walk me through what we're doing here.
Maybe let's aim to do one color tonight. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do 18 or 20 new cards. That's a lot.
Well, I can at least cover what they are, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll do, and honestly, I think Spark or of Invention, the Issa deck, might have a little bit less to be said since there's going to be a lot fewer cards across the rest of the card pool that synergize. Okay, but Spark of Invention, we've got the Artifice deck, which is the B. Issa is Battlefield 5, Life 18, Spellboard 5, and she's got 4 ready spells: Reconfigure, side action to play, side action to activate, and exhaust. Move an Artifice die from a card you control onto another card you control. Summon Spark Drone, main action play, main action exhaust, and 1 Artifice class die to play. Place a Spark Drone Conjuration onto your battlefield. If this spell is charged, change 2 dice in your active pool to a side of your choice. Summon Thunderhawk, main action cost, main action exhaust, and class die and a basic die to place a Thunderhawk Conjuration onto your field. Supercharge is side action and 1 class die to play, side action exhaust to activate. If this spell is charged, add 2 to the attack value of a target unit for the remainder of the turn. Then she's got 2 allies: Core Supplier, main action, class, and basic. Supply 2. When this unit comes into play, place up to 2 Artifice die from your exhausted pool onto cards. Systems Drafter, main and class cost. Rethink 1. When this unit comes into play, remove 1 exhaustion token from a ready spell you control. Core Supplier is a 2/2/1. Systems Drafter is a 1/1/1. And then we've got an Alteration, Thundersuit, class basic, main action. When attaching this spell, place an Artifice die from your exhausted pool onto the attached unit. It gives +2/+2/+1. Action spells, there's 2 of them. Brilliant Display is Issa's unique. It is a main basic cost. Resolve the following effect once for each Artifice die on cards you control and deal 1 damage to a target unit an opponent controls. Recharge, main, power side, discard cost. Remove 1 exhaustion token and 2 wound tokens from a charged card you control. Reaction, final card, barrier. Power side, you may play the spell after a charged card you control is dealt damage. Prevent 3 damage from being received. And I guess I should cover the actual conjurations. So the Spark Drone, there's 3 of them. There's Unit Guard 020, and Thunderhawk is 2 count. You've got Dormant. This unit cannot attack unless it is charged. And Overkill 1. After it destroys a unit an opponent controls, deal 1 damage. It is a 3/3/0. That's her set. All right. So what do you think? There's a lot of interesting things at play. Some of these cards are like other cards we've seen. Like a Supercharge is like Strengthen, basically.
Yeah, it's cheaper than Strengthen. If you can charge it easily.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it was interesting to hear you say that you think these synergize less. I mean, I do think there's. I guess I don't actually have a clear point of view about whether they synergize less. I find myself generally more interested in them. But then they're like more of an engine building set of cards, so they're going to appeal to a jank lover like me. I mean, I think they obviously Issa is really helpful if you're going to play these because of her ability to cheat dice onto cards for the charging. But core supplier is really powerful at doing that. And I think systems drafter as a card is kind of generically useful. Like I think um, it's a pretty cheap ability to refresh some high value conjuration. So like I've been thinking about a deck with supercharge and systems drafter, but also like lightbringer to just be really nasty in terms of controlling the field, and then if you've got supercharger and you're in divine, that puts you into terra herder. So like which benefits from the supercharge. So like I think there's definitely some things you can move these cards into. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I like the general idea of like slightly undercosted units like Thunderhulk that have this dormant ability or actively need to be charged to be useful. I think that's kind of a cool design space. So yeah, I'm generally excited, and I'm finding myself wanting to build with those new cards in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, I guess I forgot her ability. It's inspiration, side action, class cost, exhaust. Draw 2 cards, place an artifice die from your exhausted pool onto a card you control. So,
Right, and she could charge herself too.
yeah.
So like if you wanted to use barriers in a burn matchup, for example, you could do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
guess I
It's good to
didn't.
point out barrier is a charged card, right? Not a
Yeah,
charged
prevent
unit.
3. And that's prevent 3 damage from being received, so that even counts in combat.
Yep.
That could be big, even against like one shot kill decks.
Yeah, it could be really big. I mean, yeah, the deck list I'm working on has Grave Knight in it. I barriering a Grave Knight is a pretty annoying thing to do to your opponent. You could then potentially adrenaline rush it or refresh it in other ways. So yeah, I mean like it's a very flexible card, I think.
I
Yeah.
should.
I I think the big thing with this deck is you have to talk about it. I mean, so from a base deck standpoint, right? If you're playing Issa, I do think it's Issa and not Issa. To answer Dur's question
I
in
was just
chat,
gonna bring that up.
not call this Issa. I think it's Issa. That's what I'm going with. I if you're playing a deck with just these cards and 10 artifice dice, then yeah, you're gonna the cards all work together pretty nicely. Issa's ability is very good at charging things up, and having a bunch of copies of Reconfigure to let you move the dice around is going to be extremely helpful. And we'll probably get some good use out of Brilliant Display, and because I can see you having 3 or 4 artifice dice on stuff at any given time to make that a really potent removal spell. I think where this deck suffers is once you get into constructed, because the less you invest into this artifice engine, right? And like Smedrick said, it's an engine. Like these cards are designed to work together, and they need the dice on them to be good. So you're either going to be spending a die just to put it on something and do nothing other than let the thing do its thing, or you're going to have to play stuff like Core Supplier or Issa herself to cheat these things into play. And as I found out yesterday when I was playing, you also, if you're using core supplier, you have to have spent artifice dice to use it. So, it costs one, but then you also need another one in your exhausted pool already to put them onto stuff. So,
It's kind of
long
like
story
Blessing
short, I
of
feel like
Lightning, right? In that case.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Where like Blessing of Lightning was always a weird card because you needed 3 divine dice exhausted to be able to make it do its thing, even though it only cost 1 die. So it was never a thing you could do like at the start of the round with a top of round swing just to get 3 extra damage in because you didn't have 3 divine dice in your exhausted pool yet. But I do think that there's room for artifice even currently to be put into constructed decks with 1 or 2 other colors. If you're gonna play Issa and you're gonna play Brilliant Display, I think you're gonna need 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Shadow's saying you're wrong about core
so.
supplier, that you need to spend it first, but it's part of the cost. So when this unit comes into play, so if you spend, you only need effectively 2 artifice die in your pool because you can use them to pay for core supplier and then they go.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. I just meant that you have to, you can summon a core supplier, but you would, if you did that as the first thing of the round, right? You would have to spend 2 artifice dice to play that supplier to get the most bang for it.
Right.
Even though it has a basic in its cost, you can't just spend 1 artifice and a nature or something because you don't have another artifice die in the exhausted pool then. That's what I mean. But you need to have enough dice in your pool to be spending them. I mean, yeah, you could play core supplier and those are your only 2 artifice dice every turn, but then if that's all you're doing, what other cards are you putting artifice dice on to use, because you need artifice dice to play the other things that you're charging, So I just feel like you're going to need 5+ in a deck to make it do its thing. And you also got to remember, this is the first artifice set, right? We only have 9 cards that can go into Phoenix More Than Art, Issa Brightmore, and the card pool is going to get built out. So I'm sure there'll be stuff that comes out that is a little more splashable. I already think, like Schmendrick said, that Systems Drafter is pretty splashable as it is. There's a lot of good ready spells to refresh. And Spark Drone is a fairly splashable card, although I think there's better 1-die unit guards out there if we're not going to charge it up and get the dice fixing benefit from the ready spell.
I think Thunderhulk and Systems Drafter are probably the 2 most splashable in the existing card pool that can still do a lot on your typical 2 or 3 dice. Whereas the others,
Thunderhulk, what are you? You're just going to turn it into a classic 3-cost unit then? I mean, it's interesting. You could, right? But
I mean, it depends. It's like you could play Issa, where you only have Issa. 3 artifice, and then the rest is whatever. Or then you need something else to bump, like you want a Thundersuit or a core supplier. But I think those are the 2 units that you would most likely be like, hey, can I put this in, with nature or divine or whatever else. Whereas Reconfigure doesn't do all that much in some other deck.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, most of these other cards don't, because you need the charging, and even like Issa does let you draw 2 cards, also, so you do get a little bit more benefit out of it, but still, like, if you're not using the charge for something, then you can just play Rimia or to get the draw effect. So you need to be, and as long as you have Thunderhulk, like you said, I mean, you would be getting the use out of that charge every round. But then we're just playing like Schmendrick said, playing a 3/3 for 3 that has Overkill 1. I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I think Systems Drafter will be everywhere, because it's just so universally good to be able to put a body down, remove a spell you can control. There's just so much you can do in any deck with that, which is kind of neat, right? It's like a Fiona, but with a body. and a body
Yeah.
like it's an ally specifically, so you can combine it with all the other things that need allies or want death triggers.
It'll be interesting to see what people find. I don't know how good it is to just refresh a summon book and replay another guy. It's okay, but I don't know if that's worth like putting a whole nother die type into your deck just to do that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we'll have to see what people come up with.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting though, and there's so much possibility for this deck and this color to improve. Like to me, it feels like the Jericho release, where it's like, oh, okay, like Time Hopper's kind of neat and Turtle Guard's kind of neat, but really, what am I doing with any of this stuff yet? And then it took 2 or 3 releases to really get something under its belt. Dura is suggesting that it allows you to get more value out of ready spells that have a book tax, which is true. Like I think I mentioned to you guys strengthen.
Yeah.
You immediately said just supercharge in color, but it is kind of nifty that for almost all the utility spells, especially the rarely played utility spells because of taxes, it's like, well, if I'm already going to need a body on the field, then it's there. Maybe you play it with mounts, or maybe you play it with any of the chants and other things like that. I don't know. Well, we'll see.
I do think it's very interesting with the stuff that like the ready spells that activate for free.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like Abundance and stuff like Magic Siphon and things like that, where you're getting a double use of a free effect, and Strengthen's another good example. I will say that in the game I played yesterday on stream against Kyle, I got use out of it refreshing Supercharge, which is going to be similar to what you would do with Strengthen, and that can be pretty powerful.
All I know is Brankus is going to use this with Chant of Revenge to at least test whether it can increase the amount of burn you can do in Jessa.
There's no doubt about it. I was very pleasantly surprised with how good Reconfigure is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like it's a powerful card.
It's kind of a necessary card in these big Artifice decks. When I first read it, I was like, this is garbage, I'll never play this, but I've kind of forced myself a couple times. Like, when I played the base deck, I used it, and then when I played on yesterday, moving dice from one thing to another actually is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, I didn't think about it until now, is you could play Issa pretty aggressively, and whether it's Thunderhulks or otherwise, where you have something that wants the Artifice die, and then you make the big swing, and then you reconfigure it to her, knowing that you have a barrier to then stop the counter swing, which is kind of cheeky.
That's fun.
And Dura was also saying, like, well, I don't know about Victoria specifically, but with Abundance and Dream Fractures, those are definitely places
Dream
you can...
Fractures is another good one. Yeah, free activation to double up on.
Yeah, or just play a bunch of Systems Drafters in Abundance and Ramia, or at work, I guess. Draw your whole deck. That's where Realization comes into play. Then you've emptied your deck, and Realization is active turn 1. And you don't do anything.
I know EB Fritz was talking about Rowan with Systems Drafter to get extra uses
in Abundance.
Continually refresh ready spells. Which is cool too. I do think that card has a lot of uses that we'll be able to see outside of Artifice decks for sure. But I'll say that like I've had so much fun playing. I've only played like 2 Artifice games, and it might be my favorite color. The synergy between the
that's
cards,
strong.
It's like a puzzle. It's a puzzle to play, and I like solving puzzles, right? So it's how do I get the most out of all of these abilities that need extra stuff to happen? In competitive practice, I don't know how good it'll be. Typically, things that need extra work to do their thing aren't good competitively, but that's a very overgeneralistic statement. So
this is why we need...
Yeah, I mean...
This is why we need you.
The
We
cost
need your crazy terrain ideas back in competitive, where instead of playing something sensible, you build a nonsense idea and then just run with it.
I mean, it could also be like Chant of Transfusion, which requires a bunch of things to work, but then becomes absurd. So,
I mean, it works
you
with
know,
transfusion anyway. It gives you the ally you need, and you're gonna get your double ping out of it.
yeah.
So sure. All right.
Um,
What do you? Anything else, Shmeny, that you got on that one?
no, I mean, I would. No, let's shift to the other one because I think the other color also has a really cool set of puzzles the um in the color and in the cards, and I think those puzzles are actually back to my earlier theme of like where could a good player or a new player focus to develop some core insights about the game. I actually think solving the puzzle presented by the astral cards is um, an even more kind of upskilling puzzle to solve. No offense, killer, but we can talk about that when we get to it.
Okay.
Well, I guess they're slightly different puzzles, at least as far like
For sure,
Artifice
very
is
different.
more of an engine-y type of thing, whereas Astral is more sequencing of when you get
Exactly,
your things on.
and I think sequencing is extremely important skill set to master in Ashes.
Sure.
So
Agreed.
The Sentinels of Skies, Aaron Frostpeak, 7 battlefield, 15 life, 3 spellboard. I am honestly, I'm just gonna say off the top, I'm shocked that another Phoenixborn is printed with 15 life. I get why, and we'll get to it because of the astral power, but it just, I don't know. It seems crazy that anyone can find the right balance between Cole and Fiona, but we shall see. So his ability, Ascend, side action, class cost, and exhaust. It's going to take me a second to remember which one's which. Deal 1 damage to a target unit an opponent controls. Place an astral die from your exhausted pool onto this Phoenixborn. 3 ready spells. Summon Frost
oh,
Talon.
sorry.
Oh, yeah?
One thing quick. Pro tip: the power side always has an animal.
Yeah, I know, but even then, my brain's like, what does this mean? Uh, Frost Talon. So, main exhaust class cost. Place a Frost Talon conjuration onto your battlefield. Actually, this time I should just do it. What the hell is a Frost Talon? A Frost Talon is a 1/1/0 unit with stock. You can get 3 of them. It's probably one of the most badass looking conjurations. That bird is very cool. Then we've got Summon Stellar Oracle. Main, exhaust, class basic cost. Place a Stellar Oracle onto your battlefield. It is a 2/2/0. There's only 2 of them. It's a big dragony thing. When this unit comes into play, draw 2 cards. If you do, place a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. Whirlwind. Ready spell, side action, class cost to play it, main exhaust to activate it. Lower 2 dice in a target opponent's active pool 1 level. If your Phoenixborn has an astral die on it, draw 1 card. Allies, 3 different ones. Cirrus Ranger?
Cirrus.
Cirrus, yeah.
Cirrus.
It's like Cirrus
Yeah.
Clouds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Class basic, aerial ambush. When this unit comes into play, if your Phoenixborn has an astral die on it, deal 1 damage to a target Phoenixborn an opponent controls, and lower 1 die in that target opponent's active pool 1 level. It is a 2/2/1. Javelineer. Main power side. Power cost. Frost Throw is an activated ability for main exhaust. Deal damage to a target unit an opponent controls equal to this unit's attack value, and it is a 1/1/1. Skybreak Captain. Power. It's basically the knight. Power class, basic cost. Uplift. When this unit comes into play, place an astral die from your exhausted pool on it. Aerial command, side action, no exhaust.
No exhaust, yeah.
If this unit has an astral die on it, increase the attack value of another unit you control by 1 for the remainder of the turn, and it is a 3/3/2. Then we've got Gust Spear, an alteration side action class. When attaching this spell, lower 2 dice in a target opponent's active pool 1 level, +1 attack. 2 action spells. Aerial Strike is Aaron's unique. Side action basic. If your Phoenixborn has an astral die on it, deal 4 damage to a target unit an opponent controls. Retreat. Side action, no cost. Return an exhausted ally you control and any cards attached to it to each owner's hand. That's interesting.
Right.
I don't remember. It was slightly different, I think, the first time we read it. But anyway, reaction is the last card. Dodge. Power side. And you may play the spell after an opponent declares attackers. Place an astral die from your exhausted pool onto a unit you control. For the remainder of the turn, astral dice you control do not exhaust when preventing damage from being received. This one's good. Very cool. All right. Thoughts?
We should probably explain the astral die.
Oh
power
yeah, I
as
guess
well.
the astral
Yeah.
die power is important. So it's prevent 1, right?
Yeah.
It said something like, whenever you're dealt damage, remove it to prevent 1 damage from being received.
Yeah. Let me see.
Which is notable because it's not, you don't have the option, right? If you're dealt damage, it just automatically prevents 1.
Yeah, after a
don't
card
have
you
to, like, choose
control.
whether to take it or not.
Yeah, it's not a may. It's exhaust that die to prevent 1 damage being received. And I mean, similarly, a card cannot have more than 1 astral die on it.
Do you all know?
Sorry, Allie's here. You guys can't see,
Oh, hey,
but
what's up,
everyone
Allie?
else can.
Well, why is it frozen?
No, it's not frozen. It's just behind. That's the stream. These are the real guys. I just do this to make sure everything's okay.
Ah.
So there you go. So you popped up.
All right, I'm going to bed.
All right, love you. Oh,
Night
sorry, I
owl.
turned it off. I couldn't say goodbye.
You muted me the whole time?
No, I just muted you for that last part where you said you loved me.
How dare.
We all love the treatment. Probably not as much as Allie does, but you know. Does anybody know if I play like particle shield, does it jump in front of the astral die? What's the? Is
No
it?
idea.
Sorry, what?
Well,
What the what is?
can my particle shield preempt an astral die trigger?
Oh, that's a good question. So
What's the exact wording on the dice power treatment?
if it receives damage, particle would
Well then,
Oh yeah, then it's dealt damage. So yes, it
Is-
should.
yeah.
is
So
dealt
particle shield wouldn't
damage.
take it away.
Prevent 1 damage from
Right.
being received. Yeah, that's particles. So
Right.
yeah. So it's kind of like what's the other what? I guess it's like armor of valor doesn't. What's that other one that you basically can't combine it in the way you think, or maybe it's this dice I'm thinking of.
Well, root armor definitely works. You could be really annoying if you root armor a unit. Root armor.
No, that
Um,
would be the same, right? Isn't root armor also?
Yeah,
received?
you
or
prevent
da-
it. Yeah, you prevent 1 damage from being received. But the dice power is when when it would be received, right?
No. The dice power is dealt.
Oh.
So you
okay.
there's no way to double exhaust that
but-
die to prevent 1 damage from being. Oh wait, no, it's to prevent it from being received, but it activates when it's dealt damage. So no matter
Yeah,
what
but
they
so
have.
does particle shield and stuff. So
Yeah,
can't
but
you choose the order?
Yeah, I think.
no,
you
no,
can.
because in either case it's been dealt damage. So it will trigger both. It
Oh,
will trigger
I
both of
see.
them,
Or you think it's
right? But
maybe?
that what it would do is it would mean
Who lets us on a mic to talk about this game?
no
My
what
God.
it what it means is that it's not like if you have a root armor and an astral die that the root armor prevents the astral die or the astral die happens first. What it means is that both will trigger, so you will effectively prevent
Right.
2 damage.
But you'll still lose the astral die.
You'll still
which
lose the
is
die.
The relevant.
Yeah, which is what I know you're trying to get to, but you will prevent 2
Yeah.
in that case.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like this, just the puzzle here is like, yeah, how do you a lot of these cards depend on having Astral Die on units, especially on the Phoenixborn, which none of the cards we were just talking about are relevant for preventing damage to the Phoenixborn, although Barrier is. And so, the question is, how do you keep your units in the air when they're pretty fragile to being knocked out? So obviously the damage gets prevented, but abilities get turned off, like the Skybreak Captain's Aerial Command, um,
Well, and Aaron himself.
Aaron himself and his Aerial Strike. Um, yeah, and the Aerial Strike being a side action means he can't ascend and Aerial Strike in the same turn unless he's accelerating.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think I have, like I said, in terms of like puzzles, I think this is a really interesting one for new players, and I do think it will help new players, if you can really lean into it, figure out some important sequencing rules that have value elsewhere. Like so much of Ashes is about sequencing, about knowing what your opponent's likely to want to try to do, and making it more difficult for them to do it or giving them difficult choices on that path. And a lot of that comes down to sequencing. So I think, yeah, I don't. Let me just say, I guess, one other thing. A lot of the cards I'm not as excited about as individual cards, although I can see that they have value. Um, I think I almost hope that they're not too powerful, because I think the combination of damage prevention plus dice fixing could be pretty unpleasant to play against. So I'm hoping that they're not too strong. Um, but there are some really cool things in here, and there's some things I could imagine taking into other settings. Like I think Frost Talon, a 1/1 stock, um, is a pretty useful thing to have, actually, especially if you could power it up, for example, which we were just talking about in the last one. I think Skybreak Captain is a really cool knight, and I'm excited it exists. And I think Retreat is like sneakily a very strong card, especially with Systems Drafter, frankly. I mean, you need to exhaust it, so that's tricky, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of now thinking about these again and thinking about like a focused small sacrifice deck where you're just playing your Systems Drafter to refresh your small sacrifices, which can exhaust it to exhaust big threats, and then retreating it. I don't know. It could be fun. Shenanigans.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, maybe you need to build that Schmedrix. Do it in Brennan so you can have change of heart also, and then
Oh yeah.
you just exhaust everything on their board.
Uh-huh.
Just bounce it back and forth. Um, it is. I've not played this base deck yet. I've only played the Artifice one, but Aaron himself is. I mean, he's kind of a new take on Aradel. Is how I feel
Hmm.
about him. Just because he's got a big battlefield. He's got a side action ability that deals damage to opponent's units, and his life is similar. It's actually probably a little better than Aradel, assuming you're going to use Ascend multiple times during a game. And Aerial Strike is actually a good unique that, that Aradel doesn't. I mean, Rejuvenate's okay, but Aerial Strike is pretty much universally going to be good.
You think?
And yeah, I think. Well, why? I mean, I shouldn't say universally good. I do think it's a little bit tough. It's a little bit tricky to look at because of, like you said, the sequencing, and because of the Astral Die's um, requirement to be removed as soon as Aaron is dealt damage. So
Right.
you can
Overkill,
throw it
for
on him right at
example,
the
is
beginning.
so annoying for Aaron.
Yeah, yeah, you throw it on him right at the beginning, but then um, they
Yeah.
can play a fire archer and just take it off, and then all of a sudden now you can't play aerial strike anymore.
It also makes you
Right.
not want to guard anything. So
Right.
Correct.
they can
Exactly.
abuse that with small units that just swing and try and take out,
Yeah,
yourself or whatever.
it's kind of weird when you look at like this deck. I feel like between that and dodge, um, this deck really wants a unit guard unit to help Aaron from having to guard for his other units, and because I feel like Dodge is very good with unit guards because you can just toss the die right onto the unit guard and then make sure it's the one that takes the damage. And the Artifice deck was the one that got the unit guard right instead of these guys.
Yeah.
But so I mean, I think obviously there's good synergy between stuff like Skybreak Captain and Javelineer and Gus Spear.
Right.
And then Aaron likes Whirlwind a lot more than other Phoenixborn are gonna like it. I mean, I think another Phoenixborn probably wants Magic Siphon, or Dream Fracture. They're similar cards to this, but he's gonna get the card draw more often than not.
I mean, again, though,
Ranger
they're slightly
also,
different.
Right?
They're slightly different in that Magic Siphon is you and optionally your opponent, but it's any level, and then this is lowering specifically. Like you can't meditate your own for free, and it's lowering specifically by one level and drawing a card.
Right. Yeah, I feel like Magic Siphon's gonna be better in most unless you're Aaron. In most cases, and then like the Cirrus Ranger again, kind of really wants to be with Aaron, because otherwise you're gonna have to spend just a die power to get the Astral die. There's no way to cheat Astral dice onto your cards in this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Which, besides Dodge, I mean, but Dodge can only put it on a unit, so you can't cheat anything on your Phoenixborn. I'm sure that'll change when more Astral cards come out, but I mean, as it stands, that's how it works. Now, that being said, I do think some of the cards in here are going to be a lot more splashable in other places. The Stellar Oracle, I think, already fits really well with the Sympathy, draw a million card type decks that want to focus Cerulean Diver and other stuff, or whatever. I was playing it yesterday in my Issa deck. I tried that deck that everyone likes to play, right, where you draw 10 cards in round one and focus your Cerulean Diver, except I don't draw my Diver books because that's what happens to me. But it still did. It seemed to work really well in that deck, and getting a 2/2 onto the board and drawing 2 cards.
It's not though. It's drawing 1.
No, but it's seeing 2.
Yes, but so it depends, because there are some decks where, like the contrast, I guess, lately, because Ancestor Spirit is one that does this, but Twilight Alchemist, a lot of the value is not just seeing them, but then also being able to filter the worst stuff away, or to the bottom, if you know that you're going to need them later in the game. Whereas this is, okay, C2, but I only am really going up 1 card in hand. The other card is going on top, so if it's a bad card, I guess you could met it away. Fine, sure. Correct. But I don't know that this is worth 2 dice. I'm not big on Oracle. I like Frost.
I definitely get Omenbringer vibes from that too. Like, yeah, it's like a 2/2 with a theoretically useful thing. I'm just not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love it, but
yeah, I was, and I will say I was back and forth on it yesterday when I was playing it, but it did see me. I mean, I played a deck where I first 5 Reverberate, so I could discard it and draw a card. So I had a card in my hand already that I didn't necessarily need. So I can play Oracle, draw 2, and just slap that on the top and then met it away. If I don't want it, right?
I don't see it becoming.
Body and drew some cards.
I just don't see it becoming all that. Like, there's, for 2 dice now, I think the floor is a lot higher than that. And the proliferation of draw in the last 2 sets is so much that outside of a starter setting, this is not going to really see all that much play.
And that might be true.
Yeah. But I do like the rest of the cards. I think Dodge is really cool. I think Javelineer has some potential fun shenanigans. Skybreak is very cool. Like Immortal Commander on steroids.
See, now that's another one where I think it's I don't I think that's like deceptively not as good as it seems.
Again, it's maybe not currently. It's going to depend on how many cards come out that can smuggle, but you're definitely going to get
Well,
at
it
least some.
smuggles.
It
Yeah, it
smuggles,
gives itself a die right away.
but if you lose
But
it,
again,
right?
those things are easy to remove.
Yeah.
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 Um, retreat is also kind
Yeah,
of
but
interesting.
I think you're up in that trade, right? I mean, if they need to spend a die or use a unit to attack it to ping that off, I think you're probably feeling good about
I mean,
that. You still
Well,
have
they just play an
history.
maybe.
anchor knot or like I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it depends quite a bit on. I mean, now you have a 3/3 with no ability.
that's true.
I mean,
That's,
that's basically that's all. That's like a two die unit or a two and a quarter die unit or something for
yeah.
It does
you
require
know.
investment. Its ceiling is high, its floor is lower. So we'll see where that comes in.
You
But
know, it flies. Obviously, its ceiling is high and its floor is.
yeah,
Now Javelineer I think could be really cool.
Javelineer is very
Kyle was
interesting.
Yeah, Kyle was playing Sembali with Javelineer yesterday. With the idea being boost up the Javelineer, do its thing, and then Sembali it and do it again,
It's
which I thought was cool. I don't think he really got to pull it off, but I could see like a massive growth on a Javelineer or something,
you probably
What
wouldn't
about a
do massive
thunder
growth, but
suit?
what about yeah, like
or that.
or even just strengthen, right?
Yeah,
Strengthen
or yeah, that supercharge,
blast.
whatever, like
It's kind of like
to pump it up.
command strike in a sense, except you're getting this is on an ally. So as long as you have ways of cheating a buff, it's kind of interesting in that sense. Obviously, in this starter set, it's meant to be played with Gust Spear. Um, but yeah,
Or Skybreak Captain.
I guess yeah sure. But it's certainly interesting. Retreat is probably going to have some potential since it's free, especially on lower like smaller boards.
I think Retreat is a trap.
You think it's a trap?
Like, I think it's a trap. I mean, I feel like you're coming to play ability that you're trying to get multiple uses out of. Better be really darn good if you're gonna take your own guy off the board
I don't even think it matter like
in
in
this
that
game. Like,
concept. I think you can just use it as self clear as well.
yeah, but there's so many other better things. Like,
Yeah.
I would much rather Blood Chains or Nature's Wrath or something if I'm gonna self
Yeah, you only
clear.
have 30 cards. It's true.
Right.
Yeah, I think that it's colorless and side action does have upsides compared to something that
Yeah, I
necessarily
agree. I mean,
destroys your unit.
it certainly has interesting things going for it. Um, I don't know. I mean, stuff like Rally the Troops has seen niche play that does similar things. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I love Smendrix's idea of bouncing the systems drafter in the small sacrifice deck. I think that seems hilarious.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
mean, I
play
don't know how good it
Abundance
is.
Systems Drafter Retreat in Rowan, and you just draw everything.
But you have to exhaust her without getting her killed. But
Sure.
I'm
That's why
gonna
you have small sacrifice. That's great for it.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
look. I'm gonna say one thing not related to the playing of the cards, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. I just wanna say it because it's really bothering me, and I'm on a podcast. Um, I generally like the art in this game quite a lot. I really don't like the art in this deck in particular. Like Aaron, I feel like does not look the same in almost any two cards that depict him, which really bugs me. And he looks really cool in his ID card, but he looks, I mean, assuming it's Aaron on some of these other cards, like Aerial Strike, that does not
Whirlwind.
look like the same dude at all.
Whirlwind looks like him.
Uh,
What's Aerial Strike?
yeah, a little
Eh,
bit.
yeah, it does look.
And Skybreak Captain looks like she's from a different game entirely. Like I don't know what's going on there. So I'm just gonna say that I
It,
won't harp on it anymore.
no, you're
But
right. Like Skybreak Captain looks more almost like League of Legends, esque. I think it's because of the blue, the coloring of the blue. I don't. There's something about it that just makes it have that like plasticky esque shine
yeah,
to it. That it's like, oh, okay. But I mean,
Skybreak
okay,
Captain
anyhow,
almost looks like a Summoner Wars character.
Dodge is Skybreak Captain as well, but the art looks more in line with other cards we've seen. I don't know, Backtrack or whatever. That
yeah.
looks fine. Retreat is just a guy, a Javelineer looking dumbfounded. Oh no, Cirrus Ranger, sorry. Javelinier's probably,
I hope.
I think, looks good, and Frost Talon's my favorite. Uh,
Yeah,
it looks the coolest.
I hope we get some. There's all these cards. I feel like backflip, retreat, backtrack around like putting allies back in people's hands. I don't know. Maybe we just need to have some Phoenixborn that like cares about that somehow. I don't know.
Well, the only one
It's kind of
there's
like a
only
weird.
two Phoenixborn that really care about allies in general, and that's Symboli and James.
Right, right. Rowan.
Brennan.
I guess Rowan. No, Brent. Well, yeah, but Brennan sucks, and like, who cares? Unfortunately, Brennan is over nerfed. What is the expression? That can is overturned. You can't put it back in the bag. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I will
Cat's out
say
of the
that
bag.
Back to the Astral stuff. You were saying the other day in our group chat about like an Odette deck that cares about preserving your life total between like Astral stuff and Armor of Valor, and that sounds good. And it's got me wondering now if we should just use Barrier instead to do it, or maybe you do both. I don't know.
To to um to do what? To prevent the damage.
Yeah.
But it has to be after. So yeah, I guess like in that case though, you have less ability to cheat onto Odette, right?
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Whereas Astral, you can more easily.
Is that true? Why? You
Actually,
can
no. I guess
systems drafter or sorry,
core
core
supplier
supplier can put.
is
Yeah.
yeah. I guess the idea is not flushed out. I'm curious to see whether Frost Talon in the likes of Hope is some sort of
Yeah, that's
discount
Frost Talon and Hope is one I was
Shadowhound
interested in.
almost.
That's
I don't
interesting.
know how much value a one attack stalker is gonna have.
Well, I'm curious. Like I don't know, but I just the meta. So you asked about the meta earlier, Shmeny. I think the last couple months has seen sort of two main things. One is a lot more aggressive decks on the battlefield.
That's exciting.
And I guess maybe directly related, if not specifically a variant of the Swordsman package, which is 3 light swordsmen, 3 sonics, and there tends to be glory in there. Definitely a lot more low to the ground plays. And really, I think the collection, there's only a couple decks that exemplify maybe the counter to that strategy. One was Matt. Is specifically Matt because he always has a good read on the meta, where he played 3 life bodies and Cole that can just eat up all the weenies that we've been seeing.
So we're back to the weenies, huh?
Yeah, the two biggest cards. I think it was Dubious Archivist did like a breakdown of all the decks. Fate Reflection and Ice Trap were like everywhere, and then obviously the Cult of the New, Cinder Spirits, and whatever were very popular. But it's just a lot of low to the ground stuff. There's still the players who play Burn doing their thing. There's virtually no one playing Mill anymore.
There's you.
There's
you count to me.
There's me. But
Treatment.
yeah, it's low to the ground stuff. and a lot of the same Phoenix-born. Airedale has seen an uptick. James has been quite popular. Koji is still there, and then like I haven't really seen a lot of Odette's. I haven't seen. I think even Harold took a backseat, which he's always generally good, which is kind of a surprise. Xander is currently the talk of the town by a couple players.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe more out of experimenting or trying something
Mitch
new.
was trying to mess with Xander. He was trying to get off of Rowan and onto somebody else, and he was talking about
I made a
Xander.
deck with Shadow, so Shadow's playing it. I don't remember if Dura's playing it. There's a couple players, but yeah,
Harold falling off. I mean, he was dominant for so long, and if the meta is weenies, it's not a lot of value for Harold to be collecting. So
Well, and I
I'm
guess
surprised the meta's weenie-ish. With Reverberate and Fork Lightning both being such good cards, it seems crazy that it's just a bunch of little guys.
yeah. Well, I guess and the counter to that is the other most popular card is, at least in the collection, is Root Armor. It is in so many decks, and all the
what
more
are people root armoring?
well, like for instance, you had Underrug who twofold countering the smaller meta, or at least what he expected maybe the meta to be, is he was root armoring Snake, and Snake also loves when there's weenies on the board.
For sure.
And then Brood Armor Hammer Knights. I think, who was it? Redentor. that was a really fun matchup. Him versus Underrug was a string mage that was root armored.
Oh, classic.
That was very fun and funny to watch, back and forth. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where things. Spearmaster is in a couple decks. Dura's asking a question, but I wouldn't say it's like a staple yet. I think that's more of just a lot of people playing time.
Right.
So it'll be.
I'm surprised Chant of Transfusion isn't around then. I mean, to throw way back.
I am the only person playing that card, I think. Yeah.
Huh. With a bunch of weenies, you'd think.
You'd think, yeah, another
feed.
good. I mean, in general, the
Yeah.
ceremonial is fairly low on what's being played these days.
Yeah, the Cult of the New.
It's always the Cult of the New. So you're gonna have people who.
Now that Silver Paladin's gone, we can maybe Phoenix Attendant comes back into the meta a little bit. Although I think Adaptodon is still is around pretty much, right?
Well, if you're playing Fred, yeah.
Clashing tempers, always present. Yeah.
Prowler is probably been my latest favorite card in the last few months. It just is. It's a cool card. It's a cool body.
I'm so
I feel like these last few releases in particular have provided so many interesting like general purpose tools. I don't know. It's like there's a lot to play. There's a lot of cool directions to go, and it makes sense that people then play the new cards because, like, I don't know, things feel like they're coming out with, aside from the odd miss, pretty consistent power levels of like high usability.
Yeah, I think it's been a good, I guess, if you consider End of Argaea and Ascendancy, the last 4 or 5 releases have been very strong and have added a lot of tools to just generically good tools for any deck. I'm interested to see, like, I just don't think we've actually explored enough as a community. There's just not enough of us, for sure. I mean, I'm not Carl or any, even Fred or these other guys playing 50 plus games with the same sort of cards in multiple decks, but there's a lot of cards that have not been fully explored, for sure.
I can say that I feel kind of reinvigorated to get back into playing more after just the time set and Ascendancy coming out so close to each other. It's a big injection of new cards into the pool, and I felt like I don't know. I mean, this goes all the way back to Gen Con, right? But I guess that speaks to how long it's been since we had a release. Really was like the sympathy meta felt stale to me. I didn't play a lot, but the games I did play, I don't know. It was like cerulean divers were everywhere, and people are drawing 100 cards and pinging out. You can't play a one life unit because it just dies to a diver. It
Yeah.
felt stale.
I mean, Diver. I don't think Diver's going away
It's not
anytime
going
soon.
anywhere. No, it's going nowhere.
Um,
It's just nice to have an injection of new cards in the meta to mess with stuff.
just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna pull up the browse decks page, which not everyone publishes their decks. I certainly have not anymore. I think we still need some form of rating or like system. But there's a lot of people now posting their decks. So we've got interesting to see a Fiona deck. We've got a lot of people now on the new card train. Issa, there's a deck Echo from EB Fritz.
I really hope the Plaid Hat deck builder puts that stuff into it. It's just if for nothing else other than new players, especially since we have an influx of them now, like they can go on there and see what decks are popular.
Yeah, the question is going to be whether once they get their feet under them, they stay as up to date as SCAC does with the actual card pool. Because the one thing this community is always diehard for is building with the latest, and that just I don't know if they're gonna stick to only the cards that have been released, like waiting until a certain point, or if they'll be like, oh well, we have the previews done and we own the artwork, so we're just gonna put it up right away. But because it's tied to the print on demand system, I don't know if they can find a way to separate, like, oh, this deck is up and you can build decks with it, you just can't buy them yet. That
I'm trying to a change of pace, but I'm trying to figure out this Artificer of the Stars deck on here that has 23 ready spells in it.
I didn't.
Is it by Red King?
Karate Jacob.
That doesn't sound like. Yeah, that
Karate
doesn't sound like
Jacob.
name.
It's a
of
Bright
a Red
deck
King.
with 23 ready spells, 3 of which are Summon Iron Rhino.
It's something. It's something.
All right, to shift. What about? Did anyone ever try Cataclysm in Rowan? I feel like something about Systems Drafter, Abundance, Cataclysm.
Yes.
You could do some pretty wild
I did
stuff.
try it. Like the first day, End of Argaia was on Ashteki. I played a game at work with Rowan and Cataclysm and trying to mill, and I just got incinerated. Like it did not work. Whatever I had built did not work at all. Now I don't know if that's Cataclysm's fault or not, but probably just a poor deck that I built. But it was real bad.
I've played against it maybe only twice. But Mitch, the rookie,
he's a great Rowan player.
He's a great Rowan player, and it certainly can mill quickly. It's and I mean it is a good AOE. You can't forget about it. It's just a very different style of deck, and again, like all the recent Phoenix Born, I don't think it's all that explored. I mean, of the last 3 sets, probably the most explored was Vicky, and that was just because it's like, oh, I need, everyone wanted a good Vicky. But and maybe like Fiona had her like little moment in the sun. Ramia sort of became a new staple, but then the rest of them since Illusion. So like even Tristan, I haven't seen all that many Tristan, especially with Ocean Eyes in the wild yet. I haven't seen even that many Jerichos. I know Alfred's playing Jericho, but I haven't caught really all that many games of him. Who else was in the set? I forget. Tristan,
Jericho, Tristan, Auric, and Rowan.
Oh right, Auric. Well, no one plays Auric, so there you go. Yeah, that's basically.
I'm pretty sure it could.
And only Alfred's playing Nominate.
I mean, if you have like Abundance, I mean it's all about staying alive, obviously, but like Abundance, Orchid Dove, Ruby Cobra, Systems Drafter, Cataclysm, and Rowan, I think you can get through like 10 to 12 cards in round one pretty reliably, depending on what you draw into, then.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretty wild. Is that a lot? I don't know. What were the Turbo Mill decks doing in round one?
Uh, geez, when Killer and I built
I mean,
it,
I used to play Orchid Dove,
you could get
Ash Spirit,
8
Abundance, and then like I would go Flock Shepherd, Shield Mage round one a lot of the time.
and Finch.
Just to
So,
yeah, and Glowfinch.
like Cobra Dove, Finch is already
I
4. Abundance is
yeah, see,
6.
I didn't play Cobra, but I played Ash Spirit.
I think, well, Ashbear, sure. I think I also sometimes played Gates. So 6, between 6 and 10, because you can't get Finch twice. I think was it. But yeah, I think Rowan has potentially higher mill with some of the new tools, but we'll see. Corey, Shadowfire making more can't see jokes, of course. I guess I should point out that Harold did see a lot of play, in particular by Carl. He won like a bunch of tournaments with Full Moon and Admonishers. And Echo is like sporadically around, but not, I wouldn't say a staple. So there's just so much to explore, honestly. Like,
Totally.
we're not spoiled for
just
choice. We've had more releases in the last year and a bit than we had the prior 3 years. Just like in terms
just
of
reread
pace.
Realization, and I can't figure it out.
You still haven't
Um,
gotten there yet, huh?
No,
You still haven't gotten.
nope, haven't had the epiphany.
Someday.
Who's gonna be the first person to play like a 9-color deck?
If I had to put my money on it, Fritz. That guy loves rainbow decks. It's either him or Red King. Who's like it'll be I'm actually surprised if are there any decks already published that have 9 colors? I wouldn't be surprised. No, there's
I'm
not.
gonna build an Auric Realization deck that has 9 colors.
Build an Auric
It's gonna be bad.
concentration deck with 9 colors and put Systems
9
Drafter in
colors.
it, and she can help.
Yeah, that's. I had an idea for concentration the other day. What was my idea?
I don't know, but you better
there's
think about it hard.
irony in not being able to
Yeah.
remember.
Maybe it was just I was thinking about the whole Odette and preventing damage thing. Maybe I was trying to say, hey, can I do it in Auric and make concentration a thing? And it's probably wrong.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But I think we're probably good at an hour and a half, and we should definitely
Yeah,
do
for sure.
some more of that new player
did it.
content. If you like, you guys should take the reins. I think I have enough on my plate with some of the upcoming stuff, but PvE is obviously a big market, and if there is any experience that you guys have or any content you want to do for that, you should totally do it.
Yeah, that's not my arena, but I am trying to get my son Ben to play a few games. He's been a little bit resistant, but I'm gonna try and get him to play some so I can stream at home without having Kyle here.
Oh yeah.
But now that we have our cards, Kyle's gonna be around, so he and I are gonna try and get some more games like we did on yesterday morning, streamed out. And if I can get my brain back into Ashes mode and thinking about some of these new cards, maybe I'll throw up a couple Casey in the car shorts on my way to work, just spewing random thoughts about cards into the world.
Yeah.
Potentially Dunkin' Donuts orders.
I will probably not get to them until the new year to like really process and think about them and deck build. But yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if early in the new year we start to see previews for the next set, especially because they said that they were trying to return to 3 releases a year. So even though it's like so close to what we just got, I would suspect that if they want to keep on to that schedule, we'll see them soon, because then you get your what, 4 weeks of previews, and then there's the lead time, and then delivery, and before you know it, it's March. And then before you know it, it's 2050, and we're all retired and still somehow talking to our 5 viewers.
I'm gonna publish the decks that I built to play yesterday, just to have them out there in the world. I'm gonna try and make a point to do that more when I do build stuff. The other thing I've wanted to do, or at least been thinking about doing, is trying to get back to the dual decks, because I said that I was gonna do that once the time cycle was over.
Yeah.
And get them all updated now that, at least through I'm not gonna do it for Aaron and Kissa yet, right? But at least try and get a deck for everybody in the dual series now that all of the colors, the first 7 colors, are fully fleshed out before Ascendancy.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. I mean, in that vein, I think you guys also, maybe you were around for it, the one collection box event that No Such Method ran in order to design his one collection box, which again was limited to pre-Aaron Issa.
Yeah, that's the one I played in.
Yeah, that was a big success, and he got a lot of feedback for that. So those should be updated. But what I like is that with so many players joining and not knowing where to start with deck building, and now that there's 9 colors, it's even like potentially more overwhelming. Having things like the dual, because unfortunately the adventuring party set, even though they're still, a good place, they're way behind now. So the one collection box is on Ash Tech Key, and hopefully that will remain updated. And then the dual decks, those could be another entry point, in a slightly different approach of what you're trying to do with them. That's good content too. You could cover them, why you chose, just put 2 decks up each time. Be like, this is why I chose to make them this way, or this is why I thought these colors went with these Phoenixborn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tips, Treatment. Now that you're like a professional, you can bring us along. You can apprentice.
You just need to figure out how to actually start the stream, and I can actually go to sleep at a reasonable hour.
Nope. Okay, so what did we settle on? Owl what and B what?
So there's what, be aggressive was a candidate, but what was the other one? Be positive.
Be positive. I think be positive is better.
Be positive is nice because
it has to do with charging.
Exactly, the charging. I like that. So be positive.
And we're bad at it.
And not hoot and toot.
What did you have for Owl the other day, Schmendrix? You said something.
Owl in, owl over is something Dura's saying. Owl over.
Owl away.
Owl away.
Owl away. I think that was what you said.
I do like Owl away. Like, it's related to the actual power of ignoring the damage and it flying.
Away. I think that's probably the winner.
Owl away home. Okay, I'm good with that. We'll. That's an old movie reference.
So now, I mean, do we start with be positive now? I mean, frog up. Turtle power. I feel like you have to end with it, right?
I feel like we almost need to change turtle power now because we have more and it doesn't even fit the song anymore. So maybe now we need
We need a new turtle. A new turtle motto.
I don't know.
Shadow wants the full thing, so go through them. Killer, you know them all now.
Frog up, wolf down, snake out, goat back, lion on, horse around, turtle power.
Be positive, owl away. Be positive
and owl away.
All right, but we need to rework turtle power, you're saying.
Potentially rework turtle power. I mean, it is kind of classic at this point.
Yeah.
But if anyone has any good ideas for what to call the turtle, put it in the chat, DM us, post it on Discord. That's your homework assignment.
And then write it up in Futura, and we're truly a rebranded Jankyard.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing is that I think we have our Christmas song that we're going to do this year.
Okay.
At least
are you going to give us a preview?
The skeleton. I already gave the two of you a preview.
Yeah, no. This is.
No.
You can't leak the secret sauce.
No, that has to come out on its own. But it was just really funny how it came together today in the car, so I had to share it with you guys. But Luke's already written up like 80% of the lyrics to it. I have to review it and give it my edits.
We await with bated breath.
It will be coming before Christmas.
All right. Well, we did it. We
Cool. We did
finally
it.
got back together. See you guys in 6 months.
Hopefully in a
No,
week.
we're doing it. We're doing it sooner. Yeah.
Regular.
Yeah,
If we
try and do
so
it
the
in a
thing
week.
is that's nice. If you do it regularly, we can shut up faster. There's not so much to cover.
Correct.
It's like, hey, this was half
Yeah.
an hour. Do you have any thoughts?
And
No. All right, next
That's really what the audience wants. More content where we talk less.
week.
Probably ideal.
Right.
Yeah, we need to get it down to YouTube Shorts length. I can just do that.
That's editing.
No, I'm not doing
Yeah,
editing. We just
we
have to
don't
talk
edit.
really fast and pointedly.
Okay. All right. Good night.
Have yourselves a
guys.
good
If
night,
you're not janky or
everyone.
stanky.
There you go.
Yeah.
We did it. Oh, do I need to get
Bye.
I need to get my shit together and get the outro going. So, yeah, everyone. Normally I say
Catch you
janky or
guys soon.
stanky. Boom. We're done. We're out. See ya.